Yo, everybody, it is me. You already know you're talking about chaos control in chat. Who would be better at chaos than me? And that's exactly what we're up so quick that you guys are going to be like, whoa, I have gone back to the future. So hang on, sit tight, enjoy some great music that I just put back on with a new timer. And, worst case scenario, I could tell you a bunch of jokes, but that's not really going to help you. So just hang tight, and we are working on this. Take care, guys, until I come back again. Woohoo! Yo, everybody! Our competitor has finally come. So it was truly the final countdown. And let me tell you, we got the cousin of Xerox, xarnax42, against the person who made lots of sparkles in my head earlier, and that is the one and only Sparkles. I have on one heck of a commentator, one heck of a player, someone who you need to go to whenever you want community hints, someone you need to go to just for advice. We have the sage Elendar. And don't worry about that tracker, it's a garbage tracker. Okay, so let me go ahead and start this puppy up. Elendar, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. Just sitting around waiting for this race to start. Get more and more excited. Should be a close one here. We're still in the first round of brackets, but both of these players are pretty strong runners. Made it to the brackets. The winner of this race is going to go on and face the winner of the previous race, which was on ZSR, that I will not spoil, but I will say another very strong runner.
Well, that limited it. And xarnax, understanding, he is channeling the crash test dummies and going.
Yeah, it's a traditional setup for xarnax, and
yes.
Here we're off and get to see what kind of lovely biome we get. It looks dry canyon.
And we have Mito. Mito has reflect, so that's going to mean everybody who's not familiar with the person, with the game, when a spell is in a town that's guarded by an item. In the case of Mito, it is the medicine. And
yeah,
we also...
Xarnax's going to check the spell hint right away. Sparkle's taking the gamble that they're just going to find the medicine in one of these caves in the west and skipping the hint.
I think Sparkles chose the Sonic sprite because he knows he has to move fast. And Maze Island has the medicine. That is good information to know.
Yep. Another thing that would be helpful is, as for Sparkles, is if you can find either the fairy or jump spell, you can head back in and get your down stab while you're picking up that hint. But we'll see if any of those things are available to our runners early. We've so far seen a magic container, and a hint for a hard container here in the West, so not great.
And Elendar, I'm going to ask you to come up with tonight's prediction so everyone can get their gamble on.
Oh man, predictions? I don't
Yes.
I don't know about that.
Okay. Well, I'll come up because I am doing some tracking work, so I can't do multiple predictions like I normally do for you, chat. Sorry to you gambleholics. But who is going to Disney World after beating this seat?
Yeah, and that Saria with the desert in between, it does confirm that this is a dry canyon biome, though it certainly looked like it before, so not going to get a lot of value out of Boots early. There is a rock block cave, but pretty sure that's just going to be a connector from the looks of it. Both our runners looking at the... Sparkle's got the town hint for Spell. Didn't go in and get it. xarnax is going to go pick it up. All these little time saves that Sparkles is getting here by not picking up things that are potentially not required, but if they end up being required, then it could be a big deal.
Yeah, and spell is castable right now. It was a whopping 74.
Okay, so Sparkles did pick up spell. I just missed it. And yeah, Sparkles spell linked to fire as well. So that's not great.
Not so great. You always hope, if you get fire, that it's usually tethered to thunder. That's what you're hoping for, so that way you don't get, an 82 or 78 cost thunder right there and you don't have anything. And as one of the greatest YouTubers on the planet, just said, Melly Wizard, our celebrity guest star, the glove is in the East.
Yeah, glove in the East is not where you're really looking for it, but any hint is better than nothing.
Well, it's always good to know because you definitely want to enter Saitama mode before you go into any palace. Ideally. I didn't say
you definitely can do early palaces, but it is always, between a little bit and a lot of a gamble. 500 point P-bag for Sparkles. Didn't catch whether that was small or large enemies because he sort of killed a bunch of enemies at once there, but I think it was small.
Yeah, small. All right, so we got the trophy. So, if you go say hello in the town of Rudo, you'll be getting that spell, whatever it is, if you want it.
Yeah, and we're rapidly running out of checks here in the West. Sparkles is going to find that heart that they got a hint for earlier. So just one more outstanding item going to be in, I believe, Heart Container Cave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's always good to know, where the glove is, Sarah. Always. Do they choose Frozen? Do they choose their appearance with Randomizer, or is it really random? Well, there are some in the Zelda 2 Randomizer that are preloaded into the Randomizer itself. You can choose personally from that list, or you could have that randomized. Also, I just saw GP on Sparkles' end. And if you want a specialized sprite like what Sparkles has, you actually have to patch a ROM for that. Or patch whatever method you're using to connect to the randomizer. So that way that particular image will replace the Link sprite. Some of them will come with customized bosses, like mine, which is the Guma, which makes Elendar. You know what?
I know you love the River Devil, but he's taking a nap today, right? He just is like, I didn't want to work.
No, it's mean-spirited, the River Devil. Why you do that, Seed? Especially when I rolled it. How could you?
Looks like xarnax trying to use the spell to eliminate some of these eyeballs flying at him and make it through this swamp, but successfully turning them into bots, and then the bots killed him.
Yeah, unlike 2, if you look right now, xarnax is literally zombie mode. So we might as well go get Chuck Green or Frank West from the Dead Rising games and go ahead and put Zelda out of her misery. And, because zombie mode isn't always the greatest mode to be in. Especially when you got a gang of Lizalfos wanting to, eat your face. So that's never a good thing. Add in Fire Spider.
Yeah. So xarnax, I like this play from xarnax, making the decision here to, doesn't
take the death?
Quite make it past. Yeah, I was gonna say I like his decision. Finding the way to the east and deciding, you know what, I don't want to check the rest of the stuff in the west. I know there is a glove over here. This is where I want to be.
No, you cannot change your bet. That's the point of gambling, Patrick, The more you gamble, the more risk is involved. Also, look at the
300 points for Blue Lizalfos on xarnax's side.
And Sparkles has a lucky 4-leaf clover because right now their stats are a bit better. They have 224. Meanwhile, we have xarnax, who's probably going to go the power route, and focus more on attack and just use whatever residuals on the other stuff, is at 323. So that level up just happened to work for xarnax in this case. Also, we are in Neboru, so we're getting some water.
Yeah, some some townspeople want you to go up on an epic quest to go and get some junkie spell you didn't even want. Here in Naboo, it's like, go get me a drink and I'll give you the best spell in the game.
Can we talk about that?
I mean, it's a long walk over to the fountain.
Thunder is cheaper than spell.
Yeah, I mean, Thunderbird's like, I don't want to be rude, right? You want to be able to actually fight me.
GG, top keck spell. I love it. Also, we're getting Fairy in New Kasuto.
Yes, so far this town extremely open. Sparkle's getting the rude news that 6 containers still not enough.
Let me break it to you with the saddest of news history. They put the River Devil in open land. So everybody just walks on by. And Spell Tower has the glove, so...
Okay, so both our runners gonna be picking up their gloves in short order here. Gonna have Fairy to get through these dungeons. This could be a real jet seed at this point.
Maybe the seed had pity on us and said people would like to go to sleep. They gotta wake up early to beat the line going into Disney World. That probably only applies to me. But, you guys all have a Disney
done, I'll
World.
roll a quick one.
Yeah, but I am never known for Bluebird of Happiness seeds. At least, you know what? Actually, this might be a good thing, Elendar, because then people will start to believe that taking a seed for me is a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's better than Star.
So, yeah, yes. And for those who have some channel points to spend, they have this lovely command right here. And boom. Make sure that make sure to use it, and you can get a wonderful restreamer to roll you a seed, the restreamer on duty usually. Or you can make a special request if you want to play one of my seeds. Also, the child will be abandoned because Darunia has jump Elendar.
Yeah, that means that we're just a quick free town away from having Reflect here and basically being in go mode. I mean, they still haven't found Maze Island, but
this is a jetty for your Betty, I'm telling you.
Barring Maze Island being way out of the way, this is gonna be a real quick one.
Exacto mundo. Welcome, Play Pod Pate crew. How you guys are doing? I hope everything went well for your channel. I hope you were partying hardy, enjoying your Friday night. Thank you for joining us here on the Zelda Speedruns channel. You are looking at Zelda 2 Randomizer Standard Tournament. And, we have two great runners. One is using a customized sprite. One is using one of the sprites from the randomizer pool. And we have Zelda versus Sonic. Who will enjoy this jetty for your Betty the most? And Sparkles is going ahead and dipping into this.
Yeah, I mean, you've got Magical Key, you've got Fairy, you've got Glove. We'll just start wailing out on all these palaces. You get 12 minutes in and very potentially in go mode already. We still need to find the town for Reflect, but I believe we've checked all of our towns now. Oh, that's right. I had missed the marking here. We do have confirmation already that Reflect is going to be blocked behind our medicine, but I don't remember where it was. Did Sparkles ever go in and get that hint?
Reflect is blocked by medicine, so it is in Mido.
Yeah, but that's right. Xarnax went in and found that Reflect is on the maze, but I don't know if Sparkles ever went in. He sort of looked at the town and then left, potentially wanting to come back with the ability to get down stab, but
yeah, the medicine is on Maze Island, and it is basically Sparkles does not know because they kind of dipped out without looking at the sign. So if you looked at the sign, you would have said, "Ayo, this is something I need to keep in my cranium."
Sparkle did check the sign, but he didn't go through and get the hint as to where it is. So he could think he knows he needs the medicine, but it could be anywhere from his perspective. From Xarnax's perspective, he knows for sure it's on Maze Island, but where's that?
Which means you could get, well, you can always hope for a bridge connector or raft connector that will take you to Maze Island, but you ain't got a raft, and we can only hope.
I think we've seen the raft tile. I think it was all the way up in the northwest end of the east, but who knows where that goes, and also where's the raft?
Yeah, and you know what would be wonderful? If Death Mountain is the connector cave.
Oh no,
Maze
Krista,
Island.
why are you gonna say these things?
Because Death Mountain is the greatest travel destination in all of
they've
Hyrule.
got all your favorite things like death and pain.
What do you mean death and pain? I am an innocent Oh, Sparkles just took a lava bath. Get your lava boy soap out, guys. No, I'm innocent. What? Misery? Who? Misery? Me? I live next to Disney, guys. You guys have me pegged all wrong.
Yeah, Xarnax has had a bit of an unfortunate history of in some recent tournaments of getting stuck in Death Mountain. So hopefully, if it is going to be a required Death Mountain, it's a pretty reasonable one to go through. But Xarnax is going to be the first one to complete a palace, having found the old horse head.
Yeah, poor horsey.
Just
bit the dust.
Stabbing him in the traditional weak spot of all horses, the air directly above their ears.
Yes, we'll have Malin play Epona's song so she can guide him to the far plane, because Horsehead is officially glue, and we have crystal number 1 on Xarnax's side. Let's go!
It's gonna pick up a life level and not gonna continue on.
I've always wondered if it's always good to full clear a palace versus, and this is Duck Derby me asking that question from a routing perspective, Elendar. Would you have done the full clear on that, considering that one is P1?
I there's somewhat of a thought to doing it, because you do still need to find where Maze. But unless there's an item that that you're gonna need, and you don't already have some information about where it is, it's just even a quick palace like Palace 1, it takes a lot of time, right? Especially since, from Xarnax's perspective, he's still got 2 more caves in the west he hasn't found, right? He hasn't cleared it as exhaustively as Sparkles did when he was here the first time. So there's better places to look than Palace 1 for your item.
Sarah, try all the time. I do that all the time because it makes it hilarious, especially, but there's only one true boss that I acknowledge in Zelda 2, and that is the bro himself, Gooma. The Goominator.
Alright, so Xarnax closing out the last of these caves that he needs to check in the west. He is going to have, that's just a pass-through that goes nowhere. Okay, Xarnax finding his way out, but he just has, I believe, one more cave that he needs to find here, which is unfortunately not going to be anything useful for him, and then wouldn't be surprised if he just dips into one of these palaces next.
Since it's P1, I probably would have done a full clear just to get rid of it, and I don't have to worry about it again, because P1, is for the noobs. And
yeah, but at this point, if you're Xarnax, it's so likely that you just don't need anything else, right? You need the reflect spell, but you know where that medicine is. The only other item that you could possibly need would be a way to get into Maze Island, and
I'd be looking at the raft just as a possibility.
Yeah,
It's better than having to double dip, especially if you find out it's needed and you're in a long trek back to there. I mean, you could always start anew and be roughly in that zone. But for me,
Sparkle's taking a death to Helmet Head. This is a little scary because he's down to his last life.
Wow. That you don't see too often, especially with life 4. Oh, but he has attack 2. But you should still be able to take a Helmet Head with attack 2.
Well, what ended up happening is that Sparkles got over Helmet Head and to the backside, and like Horse Head to some extent, Helmet Head's hitbox is a little bit more left than you think it would be. It lines up pretty flat with his shield, so if you get to his right side, it's a lot harder to hit him, as Sparkles was experiencing right there. But he gets back onto the left side, gets his last hit. He's going to be tied up on gems.
Yeah, that was a close one, though. Phew!
And xarnax has found this pass-through room, but he does not have enough to cast Fairy and taking the very slow down.
I get why he's burning the gem, but when you're at 735 out of 810, whoa.
Oh, okay. Well, xarnax has got his item here in this, what I believe is Palace 5, and unfortunately it is just another magic container. But we do know that that's going to be access to another item out of Nuke Pseudo, so not completely useless at this time.
Yeah, and, you gotta appreciate going into the bro's house with attack 4. Because I am too scared to fight Guma on attack 4.
Yeah, I believe he does have the shield spell, so that's going to be a help. But attack 5 or life 5 with only... Oh, no, sorry, this is Palace 6. Excuse me, I read the pillars wrong. So
and look at that,
much easier boss here in Barba.
Sparkles is... Oh no! 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 Oh no!
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Sparkles manages to pick up Raft, which could be extremely useful or extremely useless, depending on where it ends up going.
Oh no. But you guys can see it, that's all I'm looking at. Are you getting, Alandar, the whirly-bird of death?
No, everything's perfectly fine here.
Okay, so then let me exit out of my tracker screen and reboot it.
xarnax making pretty good pace here on Barba, getting about 3 or 4 hits in a cycle. Best to just play it safe.
Yeah.
Because he is almost certainly 1 hit away from death.
Yes, the gem was placed. I called it a gem burn because he was only getting 60 points. But, I would have gone for the double level, but because of the fact that he was on his last life with only a wing and a prayer, I can understand why he would just go ahead and place the gem early.
Yeah, and Sparkles does have a from what Patrick has seen, a sighting of a flute-blocked palace here. Yes, and here is in fact the raft tile down here in the south that we had seen earlier. Where does it go? Death Mountain.
Let's go!
Sparkles is saying, maybe I'll check some of these other places first before I head on into that.
Look here. Listen, Tutor. It is never a train wreck when you need the toot-toot. No, I disagree. It's bad enough that they put my poor, innocent river devil in an open plains. That should give me no excuses. It is not a train wreck. It's not. How
Okay,
could you?
here's Risen Peabag Cave here for Sparkles. We haven't seen this one yet. A little bit of pain though with the invisible Moas. But fabulous! And what are you gonna get here? 200 points. Not even enough for a level.
I am sad.
And we got a life check here, and it is the full 5 bars for xarnax. Well, presumably for Sparkles right now, but xarnax I'm sure will have it soon enough. I don't know if he actually did pick it up. He doesn't have it marked, but...
Why is the commentary one working, but the tracker one is not working?
I can handle the tracking for you if you're having issues.
The tracking page is kind of wonky right now. Because I checked my internet speed and I have one gig of speed. So I should not be getting this. Oh, man. But the commentary screen works great. Don't cry for me, Argentina. The truth is I never left you. Must figure out what to do with this. Oy, oy, oy. This is Crystal slowly losing her, and you know what little sense she has.
Yeah, you know, it's been a day already with this race.
Oh man.
So pretty even race, I would say. Still,
yes.
xarnax with a little bit of a gem advantage, but Sparkle's definitely rapidly accumulating a progression advantage.
I can't believe I am going to... Alan, I crack on the daily. I'm a psychiatrist. Come on. Yeah, the commentary link works. The tracker one doesn't. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, so I'll just have to screen swap every couple of seconds. This is great. I just bought this too. It's a brand new gaming laptop. So I can game at work before I lose my sanity. Also, xarnax showing everyone my shame with the River Devil being out in the open and not going to hear his toot toot. Oh boy. If a shrink needs a shrink, we just go to our other personality.
So Sparkle's here coming into this P1 with some more information than xarnax had. I don't blame xarnax at all for being like, okay, well, it's an early P1. We're just going to go in here. We're going to clear it. We're going to move on. But Sparkles at this point knows what the remaining options are getting to be pretty limited, and also that the flute is going to be required. And so I think there's a lot higher chance that Sparkles decides, with that additional information, to go and full clear this palace.
See, that's why I wanted to full clear it before, but then that's little old Duck Derby me talking.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a gamble either way. You know, do you check things when you think you might conceivably be in go mode already, or do you, sort of say, well, you know, I'm gonna trust my gut and make checks that could lead to something good.
Nah, I never trust my gut because I have to take Tums, so my gut already is failing. So that means that's a no-go for trusting the old gut. But, xarnax will probably realize I'm going to have to double dip P1 with a hope and a prayer if nothing checks out, And it's a sad day because P1's usually fairly easy to clear out. If you want to talk about long levels, that would be 2, 5, and 6. But usually you can have some fun in the shorter levels.
Yeah. But I think at this point, both our runners are likely to just get the item from whatever palace they're in here. xarnax going down the long, long, long elevator of doom.
Yeah. It just means that it's taking you to somewhere subterranean that's probably really good. You always have to look at everything with optimism.
Well, we know Ganon was a master of non-Euclidean palaces, right? You can go down an elevator 5, 6, 7 floors and take a right and find that you're all the way back where you started.
You gotta love the physics of that, And,
it's just like Paradox Cave, right? He's using that technology.
Yeah! Even though I'm a big fan of the greatest cave in Link to the Past, which is Spiral Cave. That's the best travel and vacation location in LTTP. But the thing is, we can't even blame Ganon for this. This is actually the King of Hyrule who had set this up, though, in this game. And
are we sure that those are two different people?
They are two different people. They really are. Because at this point, Ganon was already 6 feet under. And what they need to do, they woke up, they shook the magic 8-ball, right? And the magic 8-ball said, yo, guess what? Somebody put Zelda to sleep, and Link, this random kid, got called on to do his duty and wake her up and go into the palaces. But you know what? If we get to him first, we can go ahead and cause some serious shenaniganry. And, that's why the overworld enemy set is so different from the palace enemy set. Because if you've noticed, you don't really see as many of the generous, enemies from, and here's the Toot Toot. Oh boy.
Yep, Sparkles, with that extra information, knows that he needed to be checking palaces and gets paid off big time. And this is gonna be a rough one for Xarnax, because I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't go back and check that one again until pretty late, given that once he finds his raft, he's probably gonna head straight into that mountain.
And I'm gonna say he's not gonna last location that, though.
I don't think he's gonna last location it, but if you're in a position where, like, P1 is probably gonna be the first place that he goes back to once he determines. Okay,
here's Maze Island.
Yep, Sparkles gets that hammer check that we were looking for on the west, and it does in fact lead to Maze Island. So that Death Mountain going to be highly useless. But like I was saying, P1 is almost certainly going to be the first palace Xarnax comes back to if he decides that he needs to start going back and double checking places that he left behind. But at the same time, if you've got other places that you can check or palaces that you haven't done that you could try to get the item for on the way, you're probably going to go do those first. So
yeah, a lot of people go for the overworld checks, but I try to full clear, especially if I don't know what that palace may have, because there's always like the possibility that it may have something. If it has a P bag, then I'm like, GG, you're good to go, palace, you got me. But I'm also not a runner like you guys, so I'm more casual.
Yeah, well, hey, if you were full clearing out things in this seed, it would have put you way ahead, because that's definitely the advantage Sparkles has now, is just clearing out stuff as he got to it.
Yeah.
Xarnax, unfortunately, taking a little bit of a gamble that was totally reasonable at the time, but... Alright, so Sparkles finally goes through and gets that hint about where this medicine is, and, of course, heads directly for it. Well, directly for the maze. Who knows where the medicine is?
That's definite. You really want to go ahead and take care of that as soon as you can.
Yeah. So Xarnax's going to retain his gem advantage, but he's rapidly falling behind in exploration and progression.
Yeah, especially with what we know about the River Devil's best friend. Seeing how he's gonna fit P1 back into the equation. It'll be fun to watch because it's gonna make you more apt to dip the trickier levels thinking that the flute is there. And that is a sad panda moment when that happens. All right. And let's see. Getting the raft.
So xarnax gonna be able to check that raft. But I wouldn't be surprised if, upon seeing its Death Mountain, he, at this point,
Nopes out.
does a similar thing and decides not to check it. But Sparkles has found his medicine, so he's gonna advance back to this palace and go ahead and clear out this P3. I say, okay, yep. Was thinking about maybe get another jar for some life, but decides to go straight in. And he knows at this point that he doesn't need anything, right? He's gotten his last required item in that medicine. He just needs to go back and turn it in, and then he'll be solidly in go mode. So we should see him hopefully making quick work at P3, but man, attack 4 really not good as Sparkles decides just to solve the problem with the Thunder Spell.
There you go.
He's looking for a jar, but not going to find one there. Where is Sparkles going? Decided he didn't like that path.
Oh,
I didn't actually catch which version of that it was. It might have been one of the dead end versions.
Grandma has love. Oh, she baked some cookies, Elendar, and gave a heart. Oh my goodness, what a grandma.
Yeah, nice, but not entirely sure if it's what xarnax is looking for here. I mean,
of course it is. You always have time for cookies. Yeah, you always have time for cookies. Especially when everything can kill you.
xarnax pretty sensibly took an up A out of there and checked his rock spot, so he's also in Maze Island, going to be looking for his medicine, and unfortunately he's taken the same route Sparkles did that is not going to get him there.
Nope.
The medicine going to be all the way up in the northwest.
Oh, okay. Death Mountain did connect to Maze Island.
Okay, that could have been a really interesting play earlier. At this point, it's unfortunately going to be a bit of a time sink here for xarnax. We'll see if he just picks up this easy rock or decides to go further.
Well, he did just get the boots, so we have some water walking that could go on. Without
the boots would be a lot better if we didn't have a dry canyon for both our west and east biomes.
You're talking to someone who believes in nerfed boots, Elendar. The boot is exactly what he needed. Also, jackhammer strats on Rebo, on Sparkles' side.
I absolutely love the jackhammer guitar.
Yeah, showing Rebanak the business. Also, so we have, xarnax at 457, and we have 456 for Sparkles. Let's see where that next.
Yeah, this given that it is probably life. Yeah, it did end up being life, but it's very close to attack. Once you get to 4, 5, 6, the next level can really be anything, right? There's pretty good odds that it could be attack or magic or life coming up, and it looks like attack and life were pretty much right next to each other. But xarnax is taking a dig here in this Death Mountain, and that's not gonna... Unfortunately, it's not gonna be very good for him.
No, and it also kind of, sucks even harder when you're doing that in the dark because everything can bonk you if it doesn't bonk you into the water. You get the alligators who are just trying to cut your soul away from you, and everything just hates you.
Looks like he's looped back around to where he started roughly, and he may just be trying to get out of here now. All right, yeah, good. He's out. He said he's done enough exploring. He's gonna go back to the maze.
Wise indeed. Sonic, yeah, a couple of our runners use the Sonic sprite, one of them being my mentor extraordinaire, the one and only Animus United. And we also have Sparkles using it. Now, the version of it, you can change the color of the sprite by adjusting your tunic color in the randomizer. So I'm assuming that Sparkles chose green just to play with our souls and make it look like it's a green screen. Anytime that sprite goes into a grass patch, Alendar, have you noticed that?
Yeah, I mean, the overworld sprites are always a bit of a mess.
Well, I liked my River Devil sprite that was made. And yes, Trails, it's not for the River Devil, though.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely the biggest ripsy soda that you could ask for. It hurts.
Yeah, xarnax, unfortunately, xarnax did one very early and just noped out because he still had a whole bunch of stuff to check. And Sparkles did it much later with a whole lot of knowledge that all of those other places to check were, in fact, nothing. And went on to get the item out of one, and it's very required.
Yeah, Cooper, he may have finished 6, but the only thing is, he may opt to try to full clear things like Palace 5, which may yield nothing but a pea bag or something bad. But, I always am a firm believer in if you got something that's a short and easy stage, just go ahead and full clear it, especially when there's too many variable items at stake. But, like I said, I'm casual. So that may be the wrong way to look at it, but I'm just probably one of those 100%ers, tracker percent people.
Xarnax has been making some really nice use of Fire Spell to just eliminate any enemies that he does not feel like fighting, making real quick work of his 3.
Yeah, you know what? That's why I love Thunder. I love, Spell, because those are excellent for crowd control. When you're feeling you're overwhelmed and you have those spells available, Thunder just out and out clears them, unless it's one of my chickens, then may take 2 Thunder spells to take it out.
Sometimes 3.
Yeah, because, my chickens, I feed them good corn. So they're good, man. That's why I'm so proud of my chickens and GP.
Alright, so Xarnax doing a good job of retaining his 1 jewel lead, but it's still gonna be rough for him. How long is it gonna be until he goes back into 1? We'll see. But he does take that up A out of Maze Island because he's already got his medicine, can immediately go and turn that in, get his reflect spell.
Yes, absolutely. And then on Sparkles in, you know what palace he's in, Alendar?
I have not been keeping track that closely, but I assume this is 4.
No, it's Gilda's house.
It's 5.
Yes, the Palace of Pro.
I say 4, and then immediately we get Windows.
And
apologies for the slightly substandard tracking.
Yeah, the tracker is broke as a joke.
Yeah, it's a little broken, and also we don't have a dedicated tracker, so doing our best to appreciate the corrections in chat.
Yeah, it's been one of those days, Mariah. It has been one of those days.
This race
Yes,
has been slightly cursed.
everything has been cursed today. It's awesome. It's so bad that it has literally made Crystal.exe just stop functioning for a while. You know, I was singing Kumbaya. Elendar could attest to that.
Oh no. Xarnax
Uh-oh.
doesn't. Xarnax is. Okay. I thought for a second he was going back into that maze island. The only reason he could be going back into that maze island is to
Go
loop
to
through
Death
Death Mountain again. Yeah, but I think he realized at the very least, okay, I've got the raft spot I still haven't checked, right? He's picked up that raft, but he hasn't gone all the way down to the southern end here and gotten Old Kasuto and the raft spot. And so he could go down and check those. And although at this point he doesn't know that that raft spot definitely just also leads to Death Mountain.
You know, I'd like Xarnax to go ahead and consult the Magic 8 Ball on this. So that way...
There's still plenty of time for him if he does end up in one shortly. But
we hope.
Time is definitely ticking for him. He needs to get back into one and get that flute before Sparkles closes up the gap here.
Yeah, this is like, you know, the only thing we need to be playing right now is the Mission Impossible music.
Speaking of closing up the gap, Sparkles discovers that he has taken a big ol' loop on back to start.
That's why when you visit the house of the bro, you gotta make sure that you get your map from Hyrulean AAA or you will get lost because, you know, Guma always has to have a grandiose palace, you know? It wouldn't be Palace 5 if it wasn't long and it wasn't twisty-turny. That's why you love Guma. He's such a bro, I am telling you. Guma
Nice.
Appreciation Night right here on ZSR, guys.
Xarnax does a spell check and Old Kasuto decides not to get that life spell. Little unfortunate because we do know that is a 5-bar life spell, extremely effective, but given that Xarnax is already on life 7 and 7 containers, I think he'll be fine without it.
Yeah, everything was hurting, and we don't know how hard our chickens. I mean, like, look at that. Most likely, you know, he's getting hit for half to a whole heart container. So honestly, I would go back for life just to have, because what good is it to have magic and not be able to save yourself? Because sometimes
just use
the
it for shield spell.
There you go. But did he get shield though?
I believe he does have shield spell.
Use it. You got 2 heart containers, and you're nowhere near level up town. Here we go.
Oh,
there's your death. See. If you had the life spell, Elendar, you would have gotten.
He tried to get the thunder spell cast out real quick to take down that Moa, but didn't quite get it. This time he just decides to be proactive, shoot it out quickly. Sparkles finds the item in 5, just a pea bag, but it's going to be enough for life 7.
You know, I'm really... You know a seed... Hey, Darunia's favorite son! You know a seed is rough when you going straight to life for upgrades. Everything hits hard, and you're having to go to things like life 7, maybe even life 8, just to survive some of these hits. So I'd love to see what Guma does under life 7. Hopefully they did not nerf the bro, but it's a sad panda day, because you know, Elendar, that both of our runners are capable of power level engine strats, where you just go dump everything into attack and then worry about everything else later. But
yeah, I think they've done a pretty good job of just rolling with the punches as far as what the seed gave them. But okay, so Xarnax is I think he's finished. I think he's got full exploration here in the east, and so now he basically needs to make the decision: do I go back to palaces, or do I do a hunt for Hammer Cave? And I kind of doubt that he's going to consider Hammer Cave as an option. So we could see him back at a P1 real quick here, or potentially see him just pop on into a palace that he has not cleared, and do that first. No, he's going to Death Mountain.
Did you see what the drop enemies are? Blue Fighty Knuckles for 200.
Yeah, xarnax farmed up about 1,000 points earlier on those, but didn't spend too long on it.
We have Lagaroo going on Sparkles' side. Did he find...
xarnax does have Sunken P-Bag Cave marked.
Yeah, because he got the heart. Yep.
Yeah, his tracker shows full exploration in the east. And unfortunately, he has decided that he would rather look for Hammer Cave than P1. Maybe at this point he's thinking, well, if it was in P1, I probably lost this race anyway, so let's just take the gamble on Hammer Cave. But it's not going to turn out for him.
You know, A Link to the Past runner, a friend of mine, would be proud of this move. So, of going to Hammer Cave, because he's the type of, you know what, if I done goofed, I might as well commit to the goof. And you gotta love it.
On the other hand, Sparkles is still in this P5, and as I say that, Sparkles finally finding his way to Gooma.
Hey, come on, it's time for the pro. We're gonna have the Duke Fest going. We got Sparkles up 1-0 against the Goominator, but the Goominator can pound 2 heart containers out of you. So, who will emerge triumphant? Attack 5 Sparkles versus the Pro.
I know who's going to emerge triumphant. It's xarnax here in P1.
Yes! The Magic 8 Ball worked, Elendar. He
spent a little bit of time at that Death Mountain and said, what am I doing here? Death Mountain sucks.
Oh no! Oh no! I'm sad.
Okay, well,
Sparkles has defeated the bro.
xarnax did eventually find his way into the right place, but Sparkles has closed the gap. It's 4 palaces to 4, so xarnax is going to be a little bit behind once he gets his flute, but still going to be a pretty close race.
Yes, Sparkles does have the advantage now. New t-shirt, Death Mountain sucks. No, Mirai, no. That's absolutely a fictitious statement. Huh?
I'd buy a Death Mountain sucks t-shirt.
No. You should have a t-shirt that says Death Mountain. You know, go for the fun, stay for the friends. I mean, because Death Mountain is such a wonderful place. Ain't no Death Mountain blows. No! You guys are all wrong about Death Mountain. You too, JJ. Death Mountain's a great place. You go, you make lots of friends. They're all willing to give you fist pounds. You know, most of them to your face, but it's still a fist pound. So Death Mountain is the place to go. Don't you dare listen to them on for those who are looking on chat as well as video on demand. Do not believe them. It's false. Disagree. And xarnax is probably gonna be like, oh man, I just got me a flute. Wii U.
Yeah. And at this point, he's only a little bit behind. Sparkles had a rough time in 5. He's had a little bit of troubles making it through this very annoying looking Valley of Death. And it's definitely of note here that xarnax, with all his extra exploration, is up a heart container. He's up a magic container. He doesn't have life spell, but he does still have shields, so...
Well, one of the heart container that Sparkles doesn't have is the one from Grandma.
Yeah, I don't think he's likely to end up picking up any additional containers at this point. He's already, I'm sure, cursing how bad that 5 was and just being like, all right, whatever, go mode, let's do it.
Oh, chat disagrees. You come for the adventure and stay for the you're lost.
Yeah, so xarnax, I like xarnax's routing here. First, he's gonna go in and do P5 so that he could do Valley of Death last, just take it up A, go straight to GP from North Palace. Whereas Sparkles is going to have to... he's still got P6, which I think P6 is on the west, so there's not going to be too much of an extra route there.
Yeah, I still give the advantage to Sparkles because I don't remember P6 being that hard to traverse through.
Yeah, I think the big question is going to be, how long does it take Xarnax in P5, right?
Yeah.
We saw it took Sparkles forever, but Xarnax could just make a different turn, take an elevator instead of going right and find his way there real quick, potentially.
Yeah, definitely. It comes down with anything. When you're in a tie ball game, it comes down to execution. Who is going to do the better routing? Who is going to have the better fight? And just overall, speed of defeat. Because basically, they're about even, Steven. They're attack 5, life 7. Grant you Xarnax may have the slight advantage with the extra heart container and love from Grandma. But... never count out Sparkles,
Okay, this P4 is very short.
Which is actually great for Sparkles. Because at this point, boots are not necessary.
Ooh. Xarnax a little bit of an overjump, taking a lava bath at full life and magic.
Ouch. Ooh, that hurts. Easy peasy lemon squeezy win for Sparkles against the Zelda 2 Flasher, Carrick. And, now we're gonna see.
You can just take an up A, go back to the west, do his 6, and then go from there to GP. Ooh, unfortunately, gonna be Magic 7 over Attack 6, but...
Yeah, he didn't have enough in that, and I guess didn't feel like traversing or risking it. I don't know how many lives.
He'll get P6 from Barbas. He'll get Attack 6 from Barbas, so he's going to be okay with GP.
Because 677 is not that bad, even though the gamblers all believe in 777s. I know, because I'm one of them. Even though I would never play a slot machine because those things are stacked against you. But 777s is always a good thing. But this is going to be a really quick battle. But that's the wrong palace.
Yeah, it's fine. When you're marking stuff down in your tracker, you're not being real precise about where stuff. You just say, okay, it's over there, in the southwest. And then you get there and it's 2 palaces. Like, which one was which? I don't know. I'll just check them.
And Sparkles opting to go all the way down. Yeah, from a routing perspective, I agreed with this one because doing, P6 is literally right next to GP. So I would have left that for last unless there was an item I desperately needed.
Yeah. Well, Xarnax did P6, 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, because that was the first one you encountered. But you're coming in with higher levels. You might be able to tank it out a little bit better. And you have some of the best stabs with you to conquer the Barbinator. So, we have that Barba battle. I think this will go a little bit easier for Sparkles. Because you got the magic key, so you don't have to cast Fairy. Because Xarnax had to cast Fairy to get through locked doors. So, that eliminates having to do that. You've got It didn't, but anytime you have to cast Fairy, I consider that to be a time sink. Especially if you run out of magic.
Yeah,
because that's a sad panda.
Sparkles look like he's about to get a magic refill right here. Ooh, has just enough to cast Fairy to get out of that.
That was really a juggernaut. Wow.
Yeah, I think this elevator might be it. Yeah, so Sparkles...
And here we go. We're at Barbinator.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Xarnax having a similar time to what Sparkles did here in this P5, just sort of making his way through.
I'll be honest with you. Sparkles finished the routing 6 quicker than Xarnax did.
Yeah, I think they did about the same route, but Sparkles was able to execute it a lot faster, obviously, being in here.
Because of the higher levels.
Yeah.
And you could use Fairy for what it's good for, which is defense and noping out of crowd control situations.
Yeah, avoiding lava baths when things knock you in.
Exactly. Anytime you can avoid a lava boy, lava bath, you definitely want to go ahead and do it. Tuda. Let me tell you something, okay? When it comes down to P5, it's the bro's house. Of course, it's got to have more than the usual. It's got to be dramatic, because that is what the bro is about. You're coming into his house, he's going to make you feel welcome with a bunch of enemies that want to send you to Pound Town. So I can't blame this for, having a interesting layout. Also at 59-22, we've got Sparkles entering GP.
Yeah, Sparkles sub 1 in here in GP. And oh boy, what a great welcoming by the chicken squad.
Yes, chickens! Everybody knows you gotta... Yes, Tuda. Yeah, I would want to be attack 6 at this point. If I could clear out the enemies a little bit better. Oh, what a lucky find. The only thing is, everybody wants to hurt you on the way getting it.
Oh no, get the jar. You've got life. Your life is 5 bars. Get the jar.
I know.
So sad.
Oh, you hate to see it.
Even if you take a few more hits, it's a red jar is just a huge amount of effective life for him at this point.
Sparkles is like, who needs life? I got death. I can do it. Ouch, that bot just said, you want death? I'll take you a little bit closer.
Yeah, he took out the blue bird eye with him.
Yeah, but the thing is...
he also took out Sparkles.
They were like, omae wa mo shinderu. And, in which Sparkles just had to say nani. And it's better to just skate on by if you can,
Yeah,
try to avoid.
Not always so easy, though.
I know, if you can. This is why I always believe, this is the one time I will endorse upstab, and y'all better not clip this. But against Kingbot, upstab is always fun stab for that. Otherwise, everything else, you just pogo stick right through them.
Sparkles made one attempt to get through the 2 block opening, but said, yeah, you know what? Forget it. I'm going to take one more pass, widen up the gap, and make the easy jump. I don't blame him.
Somebody actually clipped me saying the one time for... y'all are just rude. I'm always team down stab. That's so mean-spirited. At least as my... as a commentator, I was doing my duty to tell, the people not familiar with the game that upstab does have a purpose. So boo on you, Tuda. Also, Sparkles is catching some pain.
Yeah, so far this GP also very linear.
And here we go! Greatest stab being used! Down stab! And we got T-Bird on deck. Let's go!
Alright, linear GP leading into a T-Bird, so...
Alright, and on xarnax's side, we got the Goominator. Will he give multiple chains to the face? Are we gonna see it? We're gonna see some amazing...
xarnax really good positioning on those down stabs.
I'm hurt. Also, we have a very special guest in our chat. It's puppy time. So if you want to get in on some great puppy time action, go ahead and you put in there different things like puppy, dog, cat, and puppy time will definitely give you what you want. Yes, that was a great fight, Patrick. Even though it hurt my Guma, I'll allow it this time. Also, Sparkle's taking a death against the Thunder Chicken. which is unfortunate.
He had a good start, but towards the end just got a little bit off pattern and never really got adjusted back into it, and took a couple fireballs, and that was it.
But he had enough. Didn't he have enough to cast life?
No, this thunder is taking up a good portion of his magic.
It's like a little sliver off. Oh wow.
Yeah, so and this is where, if you had shield spell instead of life spell here, you could cast that, help you out a little bit on the defense, but he's just gonna have to execute well, not get hit. So far he's making a good job of it.
Yeah, because it's staying on sort of a pendulum. But, you would think that at life 7, it would not have so much pain affiliated with
Thunderbird is meant to be fought at really high levels. He's a whole bunch of pain no matter where you're at. But really cleanly executed some sparkles.
But, that may have been the logic behind it, The only problem is Sparkles kind of forgot about that life spell. So if you're getting life over shield, you gotta use it, You just don't take it and then never use it.
Well,
also, this is another great use of upstab, but for that upstab blocked room. Also, I think Elendar, is that?
So reverse L7 room after the drop, still 100% linear.
Yeah. Okay, got this elevator going down, down, down.
Wow, that was the fastest fairyless fairy feat I've ever seen from xarnax. So clean.
I know, it was a blink and you miss it moment. Also, Sparkle's going downstairs, realizing that may not be the right way to go, opting to take this path. Let's see where it takes you.
Oh, Sparkles just using a down stab instead of an up stab does get that King Bot, but takes a hit. Okay, here we go. Here's our fork. It's, now that we've found a fork, any room can be Dark Link here.
Yep.
But not this one, because that's a dead end. We're back on the linear path.
This particular seed legit makes me want to do the Price is Right losing horn. That do 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 do. Because that's what it feels like every time you hit a loop. It hurts. It's like you aren't winning. You're not winning, son.
Vertical bubbles in this low floor room is very scary. Those things hurt a lot. Ooh, taking off another bar from Sparkles. This is his last life. He's going to be very careful here on his way to Dark Link. Because xarnax is already finishing P4, and he's going to be joining Sparkles in GP in just a moment as he places this gem in up A's. Oh, and Sparkles has found another L7 room. So there's got to be some way back that we missed.
In the words of the great Bugs Bunny, I should have taken that last turn at Albuquerque.
Sparkles just decides he's too low on resources. He wants to take this up A and come back in full lives and magic. It's going to be a bit of a walk for him to reset it, but it's better this than taking the game over later. Oh, accidentally casting Fairy there, and that's not going to do it.
So, at this point, now we have 10732 xarnax entering, and they're literally at the same area.
Yeah, I mean, Sparkles does have, a
T-Bird
exploration advantage and a T-Bird advantage, but, they're basically one game over away from this being xarnax's race, and if the route ends up being even more complicated, there's still a good chance that xarnax could take a good gamble and end up winning this one.
And snipe. Only thing that I see might be a little problematic for xarnax is that attack 5. Because that T-Bird was kind of chonky, and chonky boys needed a little more extra hits on attack 6, so I dare not even ponder what it's going to be like on attack 5.
Yeah, one big difference though is that he's got that extra bar of magic and life and the shield spell, so his Thunderbird is actually going to be quite a bit safer than Sparkles was, even with being down another level of attack. I think having the shield spell and an extra bar of life more than makes up for it.
That's true. That is true. You know,
the life spell would have been a huge difference, but unfortunately just not enough to cast Thunder and Life on the same live.
Well, maybe it would have been for Xarnax with that extra magic container, but not for poor Sparkles. Also, Sparkles doing the right thing in upping, because you don't want to get too deep into GP with on your last life. Never.
It's always a hard thing because, especially here, if you take that up A and decide to redo the beginning again, it's like at least 3 or 4 minutes to get back to where you were. But, how likely is it that you're going to die? How safe do you feel, only having basically no magic and 2 more bars of life? But Xarnax here at T-Bird.
With only 1 container of literal health. Oh boy, this is going to have to be a really clean fight. Pray you don't get anything, because I believe it was taking out 2 or roughly 2 heart containers, the fireball. So this is going to have to be a really clean fight for Xarnax.
I believe we did get a shield cast from Xarnax, so the possibility he can live through 1 hit here at life 7, but I don't think he's going to want to test that theory.
No, who would want to do that? You never want to give the Thunder Chicken any type of advantage, And you definitely don't want to go into Oko mode, because once the Thunder Chicken goes off of Pendulum, It could be a rough time.
Super clean. Xarnax getting good hits on his whole cycles, keeping the pattern up perfectly the whole time.
And now, Sparkles' lead is slowly dwindling away.
Yeah, I mean, he is still a little bit further ahead. He does still have that exploration advantage. And I think this elevator might be new territory. I don't remember.
Well, the last Waffle Room I saw, everybody was trying to hurt you. This one is oddly chickenless, which does make me very sad. But there is one of my ninja chickens. There you go, buddy. You're doing your best. You are PogChamp. Sparkle's taking a death. And I forgot to write an important message to Pub Time. Doggy emojis! Okay, now back to the game.
Yep, so we'll see where Xarnax decides to go here. Looks like he's found a 4-way. I don't think did we see that 4-way from Sparkles?
No. Yeah, I believe we did.
Okay.
No, not this one, because this one is Darkling. Hey, brother, how you doing, Darkling? Or should we say Dark Shadow the Hedgehog? Because that is... Yes, it is Sonic versus Shadow. We're going to see some Cankle action. So start getting your GGs ready, because it's going to be over in just a moment. And I would have said happy 1 hour. Happy 1 hour and 12 minutes and 19 seconds to you guys. And it's just in time for us to get all of our GGs in happy time. So, but yeah. Shadow is on his roller skates and did a lot of dodging of those hits. But we have Sparkles coming in with the official time of 1:12:36. Also, we could make this particular scene into a creepypasta if it was a shadow sprite, because there is a creepypasta game about Maria from Shadow the Hedgehog. Let me just ask if we're looking at a... It would help if I could type it. Also, I need to pay out everyone who voted on Sparkles. So, Sparkles will be the one who will be spreading Sparkles with Tinkerbell in Disney World. Those who did bet on Sparkles, ka-ching, you guys are about to get paid.
Right, Sparkles is gonna call it a night. I don't blame him. It's been a bit of a late one for all of us.
Okie dokie.
But xarnax is gonna keep fighting it out. He's very close to the end, I gotta imagine. I don't actually know exactly where the route is, but I think he's on the right path. Oh, no, this is... I don't think this is the right path, because this is this vertical bubble room that Sparkles had found initially and discovered just leads to a dead end.
Sorry, you know what? They won their channel points. You know what they could do with their channel points? they could use some of those channel points and have me roll a seed for them. As you can see, this was an easy peasy lemon squeezy seed. And I hope that Mirai cashes in so he can get one of my seeds. I'll make it nice and easy for him. Yeah, I think it's a worthwhile investment, Alendar. What do you think?
You know,
the fact that you laughed about it means that you don't trust me, Alendar. What? Oh.
I mean, so far your seeds haven't been awful. This seed was perfectly reasonable.
We go. See, chat. This is why you should use your channel points and have me roll a seed for you. That way you can have a wonderful, pleasant, happy day with a great bluebird of happiness seed. Alendar approved. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy seed. See, there we go.
I wouldn't say that. There are no guaranteed easy seeds. This is Zelda 2.
I live near Disney. Tinkerbell is my neighbor. We'll just spread some pixie dust on it. We'll be okay. The seed will be easy. Also, Sparkles went so many different directions, but was this on the route? Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is the route now, or at least leading him back to the route. He pretty much took the same way here that Sparkles did. It looks like, which I don't blame him for. It's a pretty standard way of routing it. That chicken decided that he was not interested in life and just wanted to hang out in the lava baths.
Hey, you know who else chills in lava baths? Blarg from Super Mario 64. Yeah, no, Blarg was from Super Mario World. What am I talking about? I mean, there's a hidden sprite of him in Super Mario 64. But, maybe the chicken was like, I want to do the long-awaited... No, I don't remember this room.
Oh, yeah, that... I think that just leads back the way they came, but unfortunately for xarnax, he did not get upstab, and that is the version of that room where you cannot skip upstab.
Nopity, nope.
And I don't know if that route was required or not, but he's gonna go take a trip and go get his upstab.
It wasn't. No, it wasn't. There is a room. I know, I said it's Super Mario World, but there is... Irene a beta sprite of Blarg in Super Mario 64, believe it or not. And Blarg is like a homie. He's the homie. You know, you see him in the lava. He's just chilling. He comes up to say hello. You know, sometimes he'll chomp your head, but it's all in good fun. Yeah, Super Mario World. He's in some of the lava stages there, and then we had Super Mario 64 where Blarg is a hidden sprite. If you do any beta questing in Mario 64, you'll be able to see it in Lethal Lava Land. Also, we have the upstab getting got because there was one area that was upstab blocked. That was on the route. So this is a wise decision if you don't know the upstep clip.
Yeah, well, like I said, that particular version of the room, even if you do know the upstab clip, you cannot skip it. That one you have to do correctly.
Yeah, that one is a mandatory one, but I don't remember seeing that one.
I know they had to go through that room. They had to go through one of those rooms from left to right using downstab. But
yeah, I saw downstab being used, but not
I don't think the
upstab.
required path did require that they use upstab. But again, I might be wrong. It's hard to remember every single room at GP and where they're laid out, even when you're playing it, much less trying to keep track of two people at once.
Taking the time out to get the jump spell as well. Might as well. I mean, you did save Darunia's favorite child. So, might as well, while you're there, just go ahead and get everything, you know? And now, Darunia's favorite son is safe and sound in Darunia. Elendar, isn't this a happy ending?
I mean, it is, but, that child has been hanging out in Hyrule unattended for quite some time. I'd be a little bit concerned for his health at this point.
But all he needs is just Magic Grandma's, good, and he'll be just fine. I have full faith in his recovery. He will become the next hero of Hyrule. In fact, I'm going to say that he's the hero that's in the Oracle games. Just because he's that lovable. And we are dipping GP again with the welcome committee.
Yep, but xarnax going with the jump and run strats, Sparkles with the just cast thunder strats, both working perfectly fine here to get away from them.
Yep.
Man, that Kingbot's still continuing to just be extremely rude to both of our runners here.
Because, Kingbot was like, all the chickens get to have fun, but this time I'm gonna invoke my inner Rimuru from, the slime anime, and get so OP, which is what he did, and gave Xarnax a hug. You gotta love it. Kingbot is just being friendly, Elendar. It's just a friendly bot.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a friendly bot, but it's a lot more of like 6 bots in a trench coat.
They were trying to get into the drive-thru without having to pay for additional tickets. That's how that worked, Get one adult ticket instead of having to pay 5 tickets. I love that play. Smart bots.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're certainly cunning.
Yeah. And here we go, down stabbing action. And we're back in Thunder Chicken Room. Now,
Yep.
I want to
Xarnax.
see what's
Now that he has upstab, you won't have to cast Fairy in this room. Oh, when he accidentally breaks the bottom block, is going to be a little tricky for him to get out. The red chicken giving him a nice little boost.
Yep, time to cast the jump spell if needed, or just use, bonk strats.
Xarnax deciding to hang out in the HUD rather than jump down.
Yeah, but the fireball still can hit you.
Yeah, you gotta duck too, because you can't jump up.
You just gotta take that fireball to the face, and you're gonna like it.
Well, I mean, at that point, it's gonna be taken to the knees. But okay, so Xarnax going down this elevator. And if I remember correctly, you can just take a left at some point here. It's not here. I think this is still on the correct route, but I do not remember the specifics of after this.
I think Sparkles went this way and it didn't lead anywhere. Or maybe
it was left at that elevator room. I don't know, but
yeah,
this is new territory for Xarnax, I believe.
Man, I know.
Okay, this is that upstab required room he was at earlier.
Going back there with a vengeance. I declare, I don't remember seeing this as being required. Maybe not from this angle, but I don't remember seeing. Because I remember when Sparkles went through it, he was coming through from left to right.
Right, maybe this just loops down to the right path at this fork.
Yeah, because I remember seeing...
Well, no, this is just a dead end.
Sparkles. Because we were talking about that because of that bubble. That bubble was just kind of, taking what little magic... And this is quite a precarious position for Xarnax to be in.
He just decides he's done with it. He wants to go back to that elevator and try going left, which I think is the way he needs to go.
Yeah, because that was when Sparkles upped out too, because he was on his last life and was like, nah, this is not going anywhere. Also, we have the welcoming committee again.
Yep, this time Xarnax makes it through a little bit cleaner.
And in a few seconds, we're going to be hitting midnight, Elendar.
Woo!
Woohoo!
It's officially late.
Well, when you're team insomnia like me, you just pop in. So this is dinner time for me. Yes.
Yeah, I was team insomnia last night, but now I'm team woke up early for work in the morning and I'm tired.
You know what happened? When you go through residency, right? They make you work so many hours in a day that your concept of sleep just goes right out the window. And I am disappointed that Xarnax avoided the King Bot hug. This hurts.
I'm kind of surprised that this is the first time we saw one of our runners just take the high route and jump over him instead of trying to go down the bottom.
Yeah, because Sparkles didn't have jump. Sparkles only had fairy. And I think that's a wee bit more expensive than jump. And, you can't break the blocks in the fairy form, so you just got to take it.
Thankfully, both of our runners having the cross here, not having to deal with that Moa. Nice little blue jar there.
Yes.
I have to say, Xarnax has made this combat look really clean coming through here.
Yeah. You know what? Going and getting the jump spell was quite possibly a great move on Xarnax's side, because it did give him the opportunity to actually avoid a lot of battles in the waffle rooms. So I do remember this as being needed because, T-Bird, but...
Yeah, so this should be pretty shortly lead him to that elevator that's going to lead him to the four-way. He's going to take this drop first. Let's see if he gets the block breaks correctly. Orange chicken giving a little bit of trouble. Ooh. And xarnax making sure that this paperclip room is in fact a dead end. See,
the later this game goes, oh man.
xarnax is trying to show off. There is a trick you could do here. If you damage boost off of one of these heads, you can get on top of the wall and exit this room left.
Oh,
and because
you did that once.
Yeah, because this is a paperclip room, this is a valid exit to the room. Apparently it's not, though.
Do 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 do. Kid touches. Oh no!
That's interesting that the left side of that room was not valid. I'm a little curious how that generation happened, but xarnax decided that's the end for him. And
that's one of those things where you just literally say, "I just got wrecked by glitching." It's like that's like me when I get disqualified every time I do a battle in Link to the Past. You know, they're like, "You cheated, get wrecked." Oh man, poor xarnax. Let me see if he wants to rant about it in voice chat. If not, then he may just say, "You know what? I'm going to bed."
Yeah, I wouldn't blame him either way.
Okay, so gave some congratulations, and we're gonna see right now if xarnax is interested in ranting about this, because that was just mean to say this is not valid. It literally Gandalfed him. It was like, "You shall not pass." Boom. You know, it's like hitting that go to jail in Monopoly. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. It hurts. It hurts so bad. I'm just waiting to hear from xarnax. Let me check Discord.
xarnax says in race chat here that he's gonna try Discord.
Okay. So let me do some hocus pocus here. All right. Abracadabra, hocus pocus, alakazoo, interview room. Here we come.
Hey, xarnax.
Well, at least I got it to show up on the screen. Yay! Can I get the commentator role?
xarnax has had issues with this before. I don't really know what it is.
Give me 1 second. I can force add you in. What have I done? Volunteer chat, where is you? Give me 1 second, because it does take a little bit of typing to put this in, so just bear with me, folks. In the meantime, let's see. I guess we can. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. All right, you have admin now, xarnax. Let's see if that works for you. Let's adjust the volume. Can you hear xarnax? Because I cannot. Let's. No! He is not by any means. Oh, God. Wait a second. Bot. Guys, can you hear me in chat? Can you hear me in chat, guys? Do the battery thing? I did that. And I even gave admin to it. Sorry, Mariah. Okay, no, I just needed to know because everything went dead for a while. So I figured maybe it was, yeah, causing issues. Elendar, you on?
I'm here.
Okay. Do we have any questions that we have to ask as xarnax does his best impersonation of Alan?
I mean, I'm sure you can anticipate roughly how the seed worked. You went into P1 really early and decided not to check the item, where Sparkles basically did a full clear of everything in the overworld. And so by the time he went into 1, he already knew he definitely needed to get the flute, and it wasn't anywhere else. So he went and got the item, and it turned out that was what you needed to do. So it was relatively close for a good length of time. You were about a palace ahead, but it took just a bit too long to go back into 1, and you were never really able to catch up.
Alan, can we get a ruling on that question? Because that's actually a very good question. The time of the ping for them, because it was roughly 30 to 35 minutes. Also, for the path in GP, there was an elevator. You actually did pretty good in GP, though.
Yeah, there was that elevator that led into a 4-way. I think you had to go left at. I think.
Yeah.
If I'm right.
It was the first fork that you saw, and you just had to. Yeah, it was an actual left. You had to pull a chroma in one of those pathways, and you had to go left. But it was one of the areas after the Thunder Chicken fight. There was a junction, and instead of going right, it was a left. But it was basically instead of taking the express train, you got the local. It gets you to the same destination. Also, Elendar, can you hold the conversation while I do some stuff here?
Yeah, but I'm sure you can go back and check the VOD. But prior to that point, you and Sparkles basically took the same path through GP, finding the way to Thunderbird. You both checked the sort of standard meta go right and look at stuff route, and took either a game over or an up A in about the same spot, having checked that whole path there. But then Sparkles came back, checked that bottom route in the he checked the bottom route in that 4-way and found that was all a blank, and then got back and did eventually find the right place. But other than that, I mean, I think you both took pretty similar routes. You had gotten the shield spell, where Sparkles had life. Life ended up being 5 bars, but Sparkles didn't have enough magic to cast life and thunder, and so it ended up not actually being a pretty substantial advantage. Yeah, we saw the Fearless Fairy feat was super, super smooth. I had never seen a runner do that before. It was very impressive, and I think it was very cool. I'll have to look into figuring that out. Take a look at the Z2 Discord and see. Yeah, I did see, for people who didn't see, Slackinator earlier today did set a new any percent Zelda 2 world record, getting the first, I believe it was sub 15. It was like 14:59. I'm a little bit behind on the vanilla Z2 scene. But while Krista is trying to work on technical issues, any other questions that you had in your end, xarnax?
I'm trying to talk to Alan. Alan, can you check Discord for something? Which might help you when you discuss with xarnax. Okay, sorry, Alan. I didn't know you were working. Yeah. Okay, since we are now finished, and xarnax did mention that there was nothing else really notable to say. This has been a crazy day, everybody, and a crazy night. Normally I would raid another channel. There is a channel we could raid, but I think you guys, in fact, let's go ahead and raid the Master of the Mirror Shield. I want to thank Elendar for coming in and really helping out with everything. You have been beyond amazing, because you did also stay to help Star during her earlier time. And without you, we would be lost, so I really do appreciate that. To you, chat, thank you so much for showing up and all that good stuff. And I really hope that you have a wonderful evening. Please, once you go to this person, make sure that you tell him the command ! intro, and he will love you a long time. So, on behalf of ZSR and the wonderful team that was here, please. Okay. Please have a wonderful evening. Thank you and good night.